So before going to the section, we have completed Python, right? Now we are going to discuss about data science tools. Okay. In data science tools, the most important topics are first is NumPy, and the second one is Pandas, and the third one is Matplotlib, and the fourth one is nothing but Seaborn. So we'll discuss it one by one. What is the purpose of using NumPy? Everything. NumPy is used to handle n-dimension data. This Pandas is used to handle the data, simple data. Matplotlib used for visualization techniques, as well as the same technique will be applied for Seaborn also. So there will be no difference, but the advanced tools will be used in Seaborn. Okay, we will see one by one. In this section, we will discuss about NumPy, and later we will see Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. First of all, before going to NumPy, you need to check whether the NumPy is in your system or not. So just go to the Anaconda prompt. Just I am typing here Anaconda. I am opening this Anaconda prompt. It will be in your system also because you are working on the data science now. So definitely you will install Anaconda navigation. So if you type here, definitely there will be defaultly in our system, there will be command prompt here. See, this is the command prompt, but you need to check whether the NumPy is in our system or not. So that purpose we are opening Anaconda. I'm just opening this Anaconda. If you observe here carefully, my directory will be provided, and if you observe here, there is a keyword known as an base. This base is nothing but the base environment which defaultly Anaconda has been provided for us. So what I am doing here is I am going to check whether the NumPy is in our system or not. So for that purpose, I am typing just pip install NumPy. Okay, I am typing the command pip install NumPy and clicking enter button. So if you observe carefully, it already installed in my system. It will be also installed in your system also, because we are using a base environment. In the base environment, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn will be provided defaultly. Okay, don't be worried. If you observe here, see carefully, requirement already satisfied, which means NumPy is already in our system, in our local system. So there is no worry. Okay, we will see the working process of NumPy. Before going into the NumPy, we need to understand what is an array. Okay, so this is known as a NumPy file. So if you observe here carefully, this NumPy, what do you mean by NumPy here means NUM. This keyword NUM means numerical. See here, NUM means numerical, and py is nothing but Python. So the entire NumPy is known as a numerical Python, which means the entire data which is in the format of numerical numbers will be treated with the help of. Everybody will say the NumPy is the most important for data science, but what is the main advantage is NumPy deals with n-dimension data. So what do you mean by here n-dimension data? Okay, I'll tell you very clearly the difference between the normal data and the n-dimension data. So for example, so we will see the text before going to the practical approach. See, NumPy stands for numerical Python, which is a Python package. The computation and the processing of multi-dimension and the single dimension array elements. I will tell you what is mean by array and what do you mean by single dimension, and as well as the multiple dimension. Don't get worried. So after that, if you observe here, the entire package systems and explanations will be there. I will share you this file. You can go through the text entirely. You can study each and every line. Then you will have a clear idea about this entire architecture of the NumPy. So if you see here, this is the NumPy architecture, the best example. It will be in the cube-like structure. Okay, nothing but don't get worried. There is not Python is nothing but numbers, but it will be in n-dimension data. N-dimension is nothing but your cube-like structure is there now. So the numerical approaches will be in cube-like structure. If you observe here, NumPy provides a coefficient and efficient way to handle the vast amount of data. So how the NumPy is going to handle the vast amount of data, we are going to see now. So before going to the NumPy, I will tell you one of the best advantages of the NumPy here. NumPy performance array oriented computing, which means NumPy completely works with the help of array. I'm writing you completely works with array formats. I will tell you what do you mean by array, everything. So if you observe the second line, it is efficient to implement in multi-dimension array. Okay, I told you the NumPy is used for implementing the multiple dimensions data. So these are the one of the best examples as well as an advantages of the NumPy. So before going into the NumPy sections as well as the practical implementation part, you need to understand what do you mean by an array. Okay, I will tell you here clearly. I'm taking an apostle here. Suppose the meaning of array is nothing but array. What do you mean by array? Is collection of similar data type. Collection of similar data type. So you will get an idea what do you mean by data types here and what do you mean by similar here. So for example, if I'm taking a new cell, suppose I will take 3 to 4 cells, and I will explain you with respect to each and every data type. Suppose I'm taking a new cell here. Suppose I'm typing a is equal to 1, and if you just type of a here, the output will be integer. Why it is integer? Because the a is holding a value known as an numerical value. So it is holding 1, so it becomes a numerical integer, which means integer data type. Suppose here if you pass 1, 2, and if you execute it carefully, so the output will be in the form of a tuple. So it is not a numerical object. It is taking numerical object as in parameters, but the output is tuple. So it doesn't matter here. So just remove it, and I'm taking a is a variable, is equal to is nothing but an operator, and 1 is a variable value. So if I am executing it, see the output is integer data type. So if I type, I'm taking another example, suppose 12.12, and if I want to find out the type of a for which data type it belongs to, if I'm executing this, see, we know that the floating values will follow the dot digits, etc. Okay, the decimal values will be represented for the floating data type. So if here I have given 12.2, so the digit representation is there, that's why the output is 14.2. Suppose if I remove here 12.2, instead of 12.2, if I just print a is equal to 12, and if I print type of a, if I run this cell, see the output will be in integer format. So for that sake, to find out the floating value, what I am doing, I'm just keeping it out and I'm passing another value, I'm executing it. So the output will be in the format of float. So I'm taking another example. Suppose here I'm taking Python. I'm just finding out the B data type. If I execute it, see the output will be in the form of string, because the entire data you are passing in 2 semicolons. So the output will be in the form of a string format. So till here, these are known as some data types. The list is the tuple is the dictionary is that everything we discussed previously. So here you need to understand one thing carefully. The most important topic for the NumPy, it is nothing but list. So with the help of list, we can handle the n dimension data. But you will have a question mark. So how we can implement the list in the format of an array? So for that purpose only, we are using NumPy. First of all, you need to understand one thing carefully. I am going to the Google. So here I am typing difference between scalar, vector, and tensor. So if you observe here, so this is the best image. See here, if you observe here very carefully, see vector is nothing but it is holding only one column, and matrix is nothing but it is holding 2 rows and 2 columns. This tensors is nothing but it is holding n dimension data. So this is known as an n dimension data. This tensors is known as an n dimension data. For this purpose only, we are going to use the NumPy built-in data structure. For example, if you take vector, you'll get a doubt how we can implement the vectors. Suppose if I'm opening my Jupyter notebook here. Again, I'm opening Jupyter notebook. Suppose if I'm passing a list here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm passed. And if I just print A, if you observe here, see, it is having only one row, but the columns are 4 columns is there, but the number of rows is only 1. So it belongs to vector category. So if you want to find out the matrix category with the help of an array symbols, we can find out the matrix category. That also I will tell you. This tensors is there. This tensors is nothing but a multiple dimension array. We will handle this dimension array practically with the help of NumPy. Suppose here I pass the type of A. If I pass the type of A, initially it is a list. If I am passing type of A here, see the output is in the form of a list. Okay. So I want to find out the dimensions. What do you mean by here? What do you mean by vector here? Vector is nothing but one dimension array. Why it is one dimension array? Because it is only following one column. Okay, so one column is nothing but one dimension array, and the matrix is nothing but two rows are there and two columns are there, so it is nothing but two dimension array. If you observe here, there are two rows and two columns, but everything is inside a list here. Okay, so this is known as a multiple dimension array as well as an n dimension array. If you observe here carefully, suppose if you are passing again the same column, and if I am executing it, the output will be same only. Suppose instead of finding the A separately, I want to find out the dimensions for this. What is the dimension? Either it belongs to one dimension array or two dimension array, three dimension array. I need to find out. So for that purpose, what we will do is, if I just put on a dot here, and if I type ndim, it is a keyword n dimension, which tells what is the dimension that followed by the variable A. If I execute it, definitely you are going to get an error. This is an error. Okay, so what do you mean by this here? Okay, list cannot create a dimensions. Okay, list cannot create a dimensions, but with the help of, we will take the help of the list, and again we will take the help of array, and then we can find out the dimensions, multiple dimensions, everything. I'm keeping this cell remaining so that you can understand very carefully. Okay, so before going into the array sections, we need to import the NumPy package. So where we'll get NumPy package? Don't worry, it is a predefined package only. I'm importing NumPy. So import is the keyword which is used to import each and every library that is present predefinedly in the Python programming language. So I am importing NumPy, and I am executing it. See, it has been executed successfully. So with the help of NumPy, what I want to do, I will just give same data here. This data I will give to NumPy, and I will find out the dimensions for it. Initially I told you it is in one dimension data because it is following only one row, four columns are there, but two rows are not there, so it belongs to one dimension data. So what I will do here, I will take a variable A, and NumPy is a keyword because you are importing NumPy, right? NumPy dot, and we need to apply array. I told you NumPy dot array of, what I am doing, I'm just passing the same keywords here, and if I am executing A, see, in the form of array it executed. Okay, it didn't execute it in the form of a list here. Initially it is taking in the form of a list, but what you are doing, we are giving this data, same data, to the NumPy with the help of some array values. Okay, it will treat each and every value inside the NumPy is an array values. Suppose if I want to find out the dimensions here, what I will do, instead of this, I will just print a condition, and again I want to print the dimensions. I told you ndim, it is used for, I will write you, keyword is used to finding the dimensions. So I want to find out the dimensions. So here the dimensions are nothing but this is a one dimension because it is following one row as well as in four columns. Here the columns doesn't matter, but it need to have row specifications. So if I am executing it, if you observe carefully, see, the output is nothing but 1. What do you mean by 1 here? N dimension. What do you mean by ndim? Here it gives 1. What do you mean by this? So whatever the values we are passing inside array, it is known as an one dimension array. Okay, suppose if I am keeping a comment this print condition, and if I am executing this cell, see, the output is 1. Why it is 1? Because it is only following one dimension array, only one row is there. Okay, so that's why it is giving me a one dimension array. Suppose if I take the same examples, A is equal to NumPy dot array of, I want to find out the two dimension array. What I will do, so instead, before we just pass the values inside one list only because it is in one dimension array. Here we are taking a two dimension array, so I am taking another list. I am passing 1, 2, 3, 4 values. Again I am taking another list. I am passing 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you observe here, this is one dimension and this is one dimension. 1 plus 1 is nothing but 2. If I execute this, and if I create a new cell above, if I want to print the values of A, if you execute it, see, the output is in the form of two dimensions. This is one list and this is also another list. So this is known as a two dimension data. Why it is two dimension data? Because there are two rows are there. Okay, These rows and columns we have discussed when we are dealing with 12th standard, I think so. Okay. So if there are two rows, it belongs to a two-dimension data. Suppose if you want to find out the dimensions, what I will do, I will just keep a comment this and here dot and passing an endim. What do you mean by endim here? It is just used to find out the dimensions. So initially, if you are passing one list inside, it is going to give a one dimension array. Initially, I am passing endim, but here number of list inside the array is nothing but 2. So it will give me the answer 2. What do you mean by 2 here? It belongs to a two-dimension array. So we will also discuss with the help of three-dimension data. Suppose I am taking same example, a is equal to numpy dot, I am passing an array, and if I am passing 1, 2 and 4, 5, again I am taking another list 7, 8. These are the values I am taking. Suppose what I am doing here, I want to find out the dimensions directly. So if you want to print the values, you can print, and if I want to find out the dimensions, sorry, the keyword is endim. Okay, if I execute it, see, this is one list, this is one list, and this is one list. There are 3 lists has been provided, which specifies the 3 rows and 2 columns. If you observe here very carefully, what is the output here? 2. Why it is 2? Because the columns are nothing but 2. Suppose here if I pass 3, and if I pass here suppose value 10, and suppose if I pass here value 19, and if I execute this cell again, it will give me two-dimension array. Why it is giving two-dimension array? If you observe here carefully, I told you, right? Before going to, if you observe here, see, one dimension list I given one column, okay, and here two dimension what I am giving, I am specifying two open brackets. For three dimension also I am passing two open brackets. If I open this, and here if I close this one, okay, if I execute it, see, three dimension has been created. So when you want to find out the one dimension array, you need to specify one open brace and one close brace, which means for the two dimension also, if you are finding out the two dimension, that's why you need to put 2 as well as 2 here. If you are finding out 3, just put 3 as well as 3 here. Okay, 3 square brackets and 3 open 3 square brackets and end with 3 square brackets. This is the basic explanations of NumPy here. So we will go in depth in NumPy. In this section, we will discuss about basics only. Tomorrow we will have a clear idea in depth of the NumPy. Suppose if you observe here very carefully, suppose I am taking another example, it will really help you. Suppose if I am passing a for loop, suppose I am passing a for loop from 1 to 10 I am passing, and if I want to print the values of, I am printing the values of I am passing a end keyword, which will print, instead of printing in the parallelly, it will print in the sequence order. If you observe here, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything has been printed successfully. So if you observe, we are passing a for loop, the output is in the form of normal values only. It is not in the form of a list format, and it is not in the format of NumPy format or array format. What we will do, with the help of some predefined functions, we will import everything and we will handle the n-dimension data very clearly. Okay, so now I am going to tell you some of the predefined functions in the NumPy. Suppose the best one of the best function is, this is an arrange keyword. So it is one of the function here. So I specified here very clearly methods. So different types of methods are there in NumPy. We will see one by one. The first method that we are going to discuss about is arrange. So here I am going to tell you one thing here very carefully. So here, when you are passing an array, NumPy dot array we are passing. What I will do is, instead of passing NumPy every time, it is a big keyword. So what I am doing here, I am importing NumPy as NP. So what do you mean by this here? Instead of passing every time NumPy, in this place you can pass NP, because the entire library we have taken a keyword known as an NP. Okay. So with the help of this also, I will going to explain one example. Suppose if I am taking a is equal to NP dot, instead of passing NumPy, I am just taking an NP keyword, because I told you the entire NumPy library is in NP keyword here. So NP dot, I am just passing an array. For better understanding, I am just passing 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I pass n comma a dot endim, I want to find out the dimensions. So see, with the help of NP keyword also it has been executed. Why? Because I am importing NumPy in the form of an NP keyword. Okay, specifying here it is a keyword for handling NumPy. For handling NumPy. Okay, so we will discuss about one of the functions here. So the first function is nothing but an arrange function. So we will see what is the purpose of using arrange function here. What I'm going to do here, I'm importing NumPy, import NumPy as an NP I'm importing. See here, np dot arrange of 1, 10, and I'm saving in A, and I'm printing this A. If you observe here very carefully, the output is from 1 to 9, but it is in the form of a list format. Before, I will just copy this entire code, okay, and I'm specifying here very carefully. See here, I'm going to execute it. If I execute it, the output will be in the form of 1 to 9 only, but it is not in the form of a list format. Okay, but with the help of arrange function, np is nothing but a numpy dot arrange of what I am doing here. I am passing the values 1, 10. So if I print the value of A, the output will be in the format of list from 1 to 9. It has been printed very successfully. So here it is one of the best example. I'm taking as a numpy here and arrange function, and I'm passing a keyword here from 1 to 10, and I'm passing a number, the parameter 2. What do you mean by 2 here? From 1 to 10, it will collect each and every value, but it will skip one value in the middle. Okay. Suppose if we pass another parameter, there will be any change? Yes, there will be definitely a change here. Suppose it is already executed, so I am taking another new cell. Suppose I am passing A is equal to np dot, I'm taking a function arrange function. Suppose I'm printing from 1 to 15, and I'm passing another parameter is 3. So what it will do, it will print like 1, 4, 7, 10 like that, because it is going to skip each and every 3-word value. Suppose if I print A here, if I run it, see 1, the difference between 1 and 4 is nothing but 3. That is what we given here, the parameter which divides each and every data point in the list format. Okay, so using data types here. So see here, A is equal to np dot arrange of 1, 10, 2, and data type is equal to float. I am taking here. What do you mean by float here? I am taking an arrange function in the with the help of numpy, and I am passing 1 to 10. Okay, what do you mean by 2 here? It just skip 2 values in the middle, but I want the output should be in the form of a float here. So if you print here, see the output is in the form of float. So same example we will take here. I'm just copying it, and what I'm doing here, I'm creating a above cell here. I'm just printing it, and instead of float here, I'm just passing int. If I execute it, see the output is in the form of integer values, and the output is in the form of floating values. This is the purpose of using arrange function. So simple. In Python we will use for loop, and if you want to use for loop in the form of a numpy, we are going to use arrange function, because the output will be in the form of a list format. Okay, so the another best example, the most important function is nothing but a line space function. So if you observe here carefully, what do you mean by line space is allow us to specify the step size in the syntax. Instead of that, it only returns evenly separated values over a specified period. So I will tell you very clearly what is the meaning of this line space. So see here, I'm importing numpy as an np. Okay, this and all you know very clearly. Np dot, what is the function name here? Nothing but line space. So I'm passing a line space function here. What I am doing, I am passing 2 parameters from 10 to 20, and I am passing another parameter, third parameter. What do you mean by 5 here? This from values 10 to 20, it should divide it 5 separately, 5 values separately. If I print A here, see from 10 to 20, it evenly divided 5 values. If you observe here carefully, from 10, it divides 2.5. So in the middle, it has been 2.5 values. From 12.2, it again divided into 2.5. So it gives 15. So from 15, it gives 2.5 values. So it is giving 17.5. Again, the difference between 17.5 as well as 20 is nothing but 2.5. So what is the meaning of this? For example, here I passed 5. What do you mean by 5? From 10 to 20 values, it is going to separate 5 values in the middle. So this is one value, this is one value, this is one value, this is one value, and this is one value. Total 5 values are there. So instead of here, if I pass 6 here, what it will do? See, it has been executed successfully. So 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Total 6 values are there. So here in the place of 6, if I pass 7 here, what it will do? See, it is going to collect 7 different values in the middle. So the best example is if I pass 6 here, it will be very clear for you. So what it's going to do? From 10 to 20, it is going to divide 6 values properly. This is the usefulness of using line space function. Okay, so here is one of the best example. I am importing numpy as an np here. You know, I already implemented np dot. I am passing a line space function here, and what I am doing here, I am just passing 1,30. So what it is going to do here, we pass third parameter, right? So here I am not going to pass any kind of parameter. I am just passing 1,30. So what it is going to do, from 1 to 30, it is going to print the values, random values. Okay, see here from 1 to 30. See, from 1 to 30, we are not passed this third parameter. So if you observe here carefully, 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there, 6 is there, and 7, 8 is there, 9. Every value will be there. 10 is there, 11 is there here. And if you observe, 12 is there, 13 is there, 14 is there, 15 also will be there, 16. So each and every value from 1 to 30 will be presented. Suppose from 1 to 30, if I am passing 6 here, what will be the output? From 1 to 30, it is going to divide it into 6 different categories. So the output will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So we will execute it and we will see. See here, 1, 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So 6 different categories it has been divided. Okay, this is the purpose of using line space function. So there is another function, the most important function, that is known as a zeros function. So you can ask me what is the purpose of using this zeros function. So see here, this is the numpy np, which so if we import this numpy once, it is enough. So there is no need of importing for each and every cell. So what I did here, so for this sake, I will create an above cell here. From this, I am importing everything. Import numpy as np. Okay, I am importing it. So from here we can access. There is no need of creating again and again and again this numpy package. Okay, if you observe here, np dot zeros of 3, 3. What do you mean by 3, 3? 3 rows and 3 columns. But what do you mean by zeros here? If you observe here, see carefully. So 3 rows and 3 columns are filled with the keyword known as zeros. Okay, so this is the zero function is used to represent each and every value inside the array as a zeros. Suppose here if I pass 4, as well as here also if I pass 4 here, if I execute it, see 4 rows and 4 columns are filled with the values known as zeros. If here also, instead of if 4, if I pass 6 here, and if I execute it, see 6 rows and 6 columns are filled with the 0 values. Okay, so there is another function like same zeros only. There is another function known as ones. So what is the purpose of using ones here? np dot ones. Okay, this and all, you know, np is nothing but a numpy, and ones is nothing but like zeros only. So here I am passing 3, 3. What do you mean by 3, 3 here? 3 rows and 3 columns, and each and every array value will be represented with the help of ones. Why? Here, if you are passing 0, the output will be in the format of 0. And if you are passing here 1, each and every value inside the array is in the form of an ones. Suppose here I am passing, see here, this is the best example. Suppose here I am passing np.ones of 4, 4, and I am printing a. So 4 rows here, see 4 rows and 4 columns has been represented with the help of ones. Okay, this is the purpose of using ones and zeros in the arrange function. Sorry, in the numpy package. Okay, so see here, this is the one of the best example. You all know about the range function. What do you mean by range function in the for loop?
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనము జీరోస్ వన్స్ లో డి టైప్ ఇంట్ ఇచ్చాం కదా, ఒకవేళ దాంట్లో ఫ్లోట్ కూడా ఇవ్వచ్చా? మామూలుగా ఎన్పి డాట్ వన్స్ మామూలుగా జీరో ఎన్పి డాట్ జీరోస్ ఇచ్చి పక్కన డి టైప్ ఇజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఇంటర్.
See, okay,
sir.
Okay, so here what I am doing, see here, I'm passing a range function here, and I'm passing a key value known as 100. What do you mean by range function? It will print from 0th location to 99th location. Why? Because the range function will follow n-1 category. Nothing but it follows n minus 1 category. Okay, n minus 1 here, n is nothing but an 100. So 100 minus 1 is nothing but a 99 here. Okay, 100 minus 1 is nothing but a 99. So it is going to print from 0 to 99 very clearly. But what I am doing here, I am passing list here. What do you mean by list? So the outputs what we are getting here, it will be in the format of list. See, everything is in the list format. Suppose if I remove this list, we'll see what will happen. If I print here, see what it is going to give, only the two commands which is in the format of tuple. So to overcome this process, what I'm doing, I'm passing a list keyword here, and I'm closing the parenthesis. If I execute it, sorry, list of this. Okay, this okay, this okay. I think one overlap is okay. Wait. I'm taking a list and I'm taking a range function and I'm passing a 100 keyword here. If I execute it, see, the output will be in the format of list. Okay, that's why you're passing a list keyword. Okay, see here, the best example. What is the purpose of using this list here is we can do some mathematical calculations directly here. So if I'm passing a is equal to np dot a range of 1 to 11, what do you mean by 1 to 11 here? Nothing but from 1 to 11 it is going to print the values. Okay, so separately we will see what is the output for this range functions. Suppose I'm taking np dot and I'm passing a range of, and I'm passing 1 to 11, and if I'm passing a here, see, the output is in the form of an array, and from 1 to 10 it has been selected because it range function will follow n minus 1 category. This and all you know. Suppose here I am passing np dot a range of 1 to 11, so the output will be from 1 to 10. So here observe very carefully what I am doing. A of 5 is equal to 60. What do you mean by 5 here? The fifth index position. See, this is the 0th index position, first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. Okay, if you observe here carefully, after 5 I mentioned 2 dots here. What do you mean by these 2 dots? From fifth index positions to enter everything is equal to 60. What do you mean by this? From fifth index position to remaining values, instead of passing these values, replace it with a numerical value known as 60. So if I print here, see the output, the fifth index position is nothing but 6. From there it is going to print value 60. So these are, we will see some kind of slicing operations here with the help of arange function. np dot arange of 1 to 11 I am giving. You know the output very clearly. This is the output for this function. And if you want to observe here, just we can print this value a. Okay, there is no issue. And what I am doing here, you all know about this a. I am opening a square brackets. And what do you mean by this? The first 2 dots represent the starting position. Starting, I am writing here very clearly. Starting position, and the second 2 dots represent the ending position. Okay, the first 2 dots will represent the starting position and the second 2 dots will represent the ending position, and this -1 will represent it in the reverse order. Okay, if I execute it very clearly, see this, initially I am printing the values here. Okay, if I want a clear explanation, I can type one string concatenation here is nothing but, suppose original numpy values I am taking and I am passing here comma a. See here, if I am execute here very carefully, see original numpy values from 1 to 10 I am taking, but what I am doing with the help of this command, I am going to reverse everything. See, from 1 to 10 it printed, but here 10 to 1 it printed, because with the help of this command I told you, the first 2 dots is for starting position and the second 2 dots is for ending position, and this -1 is for reverse order. -1 is for reverse order. Okay, so we will see here. Okay, what I am going to do here, I am printing a list range function. Do you all know about here? From 10 to 100 I am dividing 5 values. I am passing it into the form of a list. See here, 10, after 10 what I am doing, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, everything by. From 10 to 20 I am dividing each and every value with respect to 5, 5, 5 difference. Okay, that's why this parameter, the meaning of this 5 is nothing but divide each and every data point. Similarly, with the help of 5, separated values. Okay, this is the basic explanations of NumPy. Now we will see, with the help of graphical representation also, we will see the 1-dimensional array, 2-dimensional array, and 3-dimension array. Okay,